Hey guys, what's up? Nico again here. And in this episode of 3D Printed Profits, I have Norm and Christina, his wife. Say hello, guys.
Hey guys.
So today we're going to talk to them about their business, and they specialize in magnetic articulated action figures. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Custom action.
So I'm really excited about this episode. It's very different from a lot of things that we've done. And so we're just going to talk about how they got started in their business, how they're doing, how things grew, so on and so forth. And as always, if you guys are watching on YouTube, all the links from this episode is going to be in the description below. If you're on your favorite podcast player, it's going to be in the show notes. So again, if you guys need help starting, growing, and scaling your own 3D printing side business, join the coaching program. I'll help you guys start, build, and grow your own business. And as always, one more thing, make sure you guys stay to the very, very, very end where I give you your own product idea so you can start your own 3D printing business. All right. So welcome to the show, Norm and Christina.
Hi.
So give us more about your background. Are you guys engineers by any chance? Because magnetic articulation isn't, it's not normal.
No, my
not norm. Oh, did you see what it?
there
There
we
Sorry,
go.
I couldn't help myself.
Had to get it out of the way. Got to get him out up front. No, my dad actually is a CNC operator. He was for about 40 years. So when I saw a video of a 3D printer operating one day, I went, well, that looks pretty familiar because I've been around it my whole life. So I looked at my wife and said, we need to get one of those so I can fix some stuff around the house, and then proceeded to start printing toys. Just immediately went into it, just toys.
It happens.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I was just a customer service rep at a Dollar General. That's all I've ever really done is just either, work customer service and retail or in a hospital.
Awesome.
But
So
I
you
always
guys don't
did-
have like engineering background at all. You're just
No, I was a computer tech most of my life. Well, I was a network engineer, but not an engineer in the physical engineering sense. No.
And I was a medical secretary.
No, I just grew up around it, so I was just kind of handy with stuff.
And I painted in the, as my free time. And usually I would do canvas work. And he printed, I think it started off with he was holding a beater Boba Fett. And I said, I kind of want to just repaint them. And he's like, no, I'll paint, print you one. And I was like, okay. And he's like, here, paint this. And it just kind of trickled down. And he mentioned something about detail work. And I said, okay, my detail work's not great. So he printed something half the size and I gave it back to him and nailed that. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, challenge. And he printed a micro size that was, how big was
25% scale of a natural action figure.
Yeah.
Was what I was printing at that point.
And then I nailed that size and it just kind of.
That's awesome. So you hand paint all of these?
Yes.
All right. So we'll get to that here in a second. So let's talk about the business side here a little bit, so our listeners and our viewers can get an idea of the 3D Panda. So how much do you guys make from it? It is still a side hustle, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty much, it's become our full-time hustle. She used to work at Dollar General and now paints here full-time. So this is what
that is so awesome. Congratulations, you guys.
This is what we do. And I mean, we pay our bills. I'll say that. Yeah.
Just celebrated a year last month.
For being.
Congratulations.
And knock on wood, I'm still kicking.
Yeah. So I mean, we cover our bills, we cover expenses. We're never really in the red with the company. The company's generally, in the black and holding its own. But we're certainly not getting rich. But she has the ability to work here from home. Like we live with her mother lives with us, and her mother recently started going blind. She can't see anymore.
Sorry to hear that.
So she has the time and ability to be here to handle that. You know what I mean? Where she wouldn't have that kind of freedom where if her mom had a doctor's appointment at an odd time, she could just pick up and go. You know what I mean? I don't need, we're here painting at any specific hour of the day.
To be honest, man, that's really what a lot of people are aiming for. It's just that freedom to do whatever they need to do, whatever they want to do, whenever they want to, right?
Yeah,
it's not being tied to a desk or a job that's gonna confine you,
right,
and restrict you from doing whatever. Like if your mother needed you, you can go right there.
Oh yeah, I mean that a whole part of that aspect is great and everything. I still put in more hours than I would if I was working my normal retail job, but it's more satisfying. It's more beneficial for me around the house, more beneficial for her and everything. So it all balances out.
That's amazing. Good job, you guys.
We've been married nearly 20 years, and I can say she's happier working here now than she has been for the past 18 years. You know, the
And
18
that's great, man. That's great. So let's do a couple more questions on the business side. How did you guys come up with the magnetic articulation? That's very interesting.
Actually, it was born out of fixing a problem. Resin printed action figures suffer from their pegs wear out. You've worked with resin prints before. Resin rubbing against resin kind of turns chalky. And over time, it wears out and becomes excessively loose and would require some form of repair. To avoid that, the idea was, let's just use magnets to hold everything together. Using rare earth magnets, we get enough of a grip with a small enough size that the figures are still posable. For the folks that can see, let me grab a barf here. You can see, you know, his arms are still fully posable and he stands in position whichever way you want him to stand in. So I do that and drop his leg off of him. But as you can see, he also just pops right apart. So we eliminated the problem of the resin wearing out, and over time, the figure no longer being able to pose well. It was really just problem solving was how I came up with that.
Awesome, man. And so what happened? How did you guys get your first clients?
Really, somebody saw a post on social media. I posted one of the little figures that we printed and painted, and someone's like, wow, you guys should really start an Etsy store with that. So we did. We just, yeah, it seems like a fun idea. Sure. People want them. Let's make them. It gives us something to do.
And it was right at the beginning of the pandemic and everything. So
Yep.
we were like, okay.
And what toy was it? What figure was it?
It was a half-scale Boba Fett. Yeah,
it was Boba Fett.
It was a half-scale Boba Fett.
So Boba Fett, 50% of the, you know, normal vintage figure.
Okay, and then you hand painted these.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And by God, please tell me you're charging for the painting.
The majority of the figure that we charge for
is painting, yeah.
You know, well, no, I was going to say is majority of it is for the resin and everything to produce it.
How much are you charging for one figure?
For the tiny figures, they run about $17.50 each.
You guys are undercharging, but that's.
See, we've been told that we undercharge. We've been told we overcharge. It just kind of depends on the customer. I personally think that we could charge more. I value my work, and I think, you know,
and that's where I was going to go.
So much because it takes so long.
Right.
And it's so much work and everything. You do printing, so you obviously know. But to a person who just kind of looks at it in, you know, just a random person, they'll look at it and say, seriously, $20 for that? When they think that they can just go into a normal store and get the same thing for $20. And then they hear hand painted, and then it's like, oh, and then they start thinking about it. But you know, granted, I think we undercharge, but but I'm always worried that if we overcharge, then I don't know, we won't.
What I've found for custom figure makers, at least, is there are kind of set numbers people are okay with. Yeah. Your customers are kind of okay with a certain number for custom figures, because we're certainly by far and large not the only people doing custom.
Well, I mean, I personally think you guys are undercharging, but if you guys were able to have Christina leave her job and do this full time, obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So kudos to you guys.
I would say tiny figures and stuff are probably about half of what we do. A lot of what we do is private commissions for people, you know, individual figure orders and stuff like that. We work with a lot of voice actors who want to have a custom character made that maybe a major toy company would have just skipped over. You know, Star Wars has thousands of characters. Not every little side character that somebody had a chance to voice is going to get their own action figure. Okay,
so you guys are doing commission work then, is what it sounds like. Are you designing these yourself?
We work with a modeler, actually. George Zabata does all of our modeling for us. He's worked with us pretty much since the beginning. We've worked with him. He's very good at translating all of my notes into something that makes sense in 3D space. I'm not very good at organic modeling, so I can send him a bunch of pictures, a bunch of notes, and say, I need a cut here, I need magnets this size here and here. You know what I mean? I need it to be this scale and this shape. And what he sends me back is usually right what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And we can, within a matter of a revision or two, get a figure really nailed down to what we're looking for. So over the course of, I'd say, a good year and a half, almost 2 years now, we've been working with him. We've developed a nice shorthand.
And where did you find George, right? Where did you find George?
Yeah, just mutual friends, I believe, actually. It was just somebody who knew somebody who connected the two of us, knew we were looking to have some modeling done.
Yeah.
Sweet. Makers helping makers, as we like to say.
And where are you guys getting the rare earth magnets?
Amazon primarily, actually. The trick there is don't always believe the Amazon reviews. Not everything listed as a rare earth magnet is actually a rare earth magnet. It's you'll know when you get them kind of thing. Like if you get the wrong magnets, you'll know pretty quickly they're not nearly as strong as they should be.
Gotcha. So when you guys got on Etsy, do you guys do any other marketing, or do you guys just kind of rely on the Etsy algorithm and the traffic that Etsy gives you to make your sales?
Social media is
Yeah.
our big one. Instagram primarily, I think. You know, Facebook. Our Facebook and Instagram pages are kind of mirrors of each other.
Yeah, we've done the boost option ad a couple of times, and it didn't really seem to, I don't know, it didn't really seem to like up anything on like other than like a natural upscale of what we were doing. And so, but other than that, just social media. I mean,
Social media?
A lot of kind of boots on the ground, get in the groups for the the collectors groups and stuff like that, and post up the pictures and just stay active and involved.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So when you guys get these custom figures, are you able to sell them again, or is it just to that one specific customer?
It depends on the client generally. That licensing kind of will land on them. You know what I mean? We absolutely do figures where the customer's like, please don't let these files go anywhere. Don't let anybody touch this. This is for me. I can't let this get out. There are other times where the customer's like, do whatever you want with the model. Have fun,
Like
please. Yeah. Like when we did Orca and Flicks, the customer for that was just like, go ahead, please, have fun, sell the figures,
And how long have you guys been in business?
2 years this year.
Yeah.
Just 3
years this year?
20.
Yeah, I think May of 20 we started up.
Yeah.
Awesome. So 3 years this year, and you guys got on Etsy. How else did you guys get traffic aside from social media? Is there any other methods you guys get people in there?
We do Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of live kind of like in the boonies out here because we're in a tiny little town in Knott's Island, North Carolina. So there's only like 2,400 people on this island.
That was my high school.
Like one way, yeah.
That's
like,
my whole island, yeah.
Like one way, no traffic lights, like 2 stop signs.
My God.
One way on,
There's a
one
Dairy
way
Queen
off.
though, huh?
And it's very marshy.
Dollar General and a market that's been here for 155 years.
We're
Oh my
surrounded
God.
by a national preserve.
Yeah.
So it takes like an
Gotcha.
hour to get anywhere. So if we want to do Comic-Cons or anything, we really have to like really invest in them because you're talking an hour plus to get to them.
So
We tried
you
to-
guys get on Etsy, you guys make your first sales, you're making money. What did you guys do next? Did you guys take that and buy more machines?
We did.
How did the business grow?
That's exactly what I did was I started throwing it back into the printers. The first printers we started with were a couple of Anycubic Photons as far as resin printers went. That was back when Anycubic was getting rid of every broken printer Amazon had in their warehouses for like next to nothing. Anycubic was like, please take these back so they don't ship them back to us. Just we'll send you the parts to fix them. You know what I mean? So I think I got both of those printers for under $100 at the time. Was an amazing deal, and Anycubic was backing them up with any parts I needed. So that's how we got started, and then I immediately switched everything over to Elegoo machines. Not due to any brand disloyalty. Huh?
I think Elegoo makes the best resin printers.
They do, and it ended up being a quality versus cost thing. It wasn't really a brand disloyalty thing. I did have an issue with an Anycubic rep. That was just probably just a clashing of mismessages, but it wasn't anything to do with that. It was more that the Mars 2s and the Saturns were just better suited to what we were trying to do. And they were, from what I was reading, far more reliable. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I can say to this point, the 2 2s have been in service for about a year now and just don't fail. They don't die. You know what I mean?
And so how many machines are you guys up to now?
We run the 2 2s and a Saturn, and I have 2 different FDM machines that also run.
That's
I
5.
can overprint her in the course of a day. So our slowdown ends up being her painting, not our printing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hand painting, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I don't like to do is my little work table behind me here. I don't like to have it completely overloaded with resin prints where she takes a look to her left and she's like, oh my God, I have so much work to do.
And it's also, not to like dig on myself, but it's also hand painting with very arthritic hands. I have like massive arthritis in my hands, plus surgeries and stuff. So there are days where I just tell them to, bury me. I'm not painting today, just bury me and I'll catch up in
So you have 5 machines.
Right.
What were your FDM machines?
There's a G-Tech A30 and a G-Tech A10M.
Gotcha. Okay. And what kind of filament do you guys use?
Right now, I'm using Overture at the moment.
Overture? Everyone's been using Overture.
I'm using Overture at the moment. It came in and it was working really good. I had tried that whole 10 rolls of GST thing and found what everybody else did, just kind of mixed bag coming through there. And I decided that for client parts, I'd rather not risk a mixed bag. So I know Overture is pretty solid coming through. So that's what we.
And what kind of resin are you guys using?
Tech all the way around now. That was, again, just kind of an experimental thing. Elegoo ABS-like was kind of the standard and the go-to. Tech fast navy gray gives outstanding details and the stuff doesn't break.
I agree. That's all I use too.
Yeah, the stuff just doesn't break. It's outstanding stuff to work with. And, you know, I can tell you, we did a set of figures for an animated show called Lightning Wolves, and we had to create 2 sets. One set was the filming set that they use. There's a little breakaway to live action where kids are playing with the toys. But there's a set that needed to be destroyed. They actually had to intentionally break. So we had to spend about a week figuring out how to improperly print Tech resin to get that resin to shatter in a way that would look good on camera. This stuff did not want to break.
And
it did. It did.
Nice.
Like, I think the final one, it was he like tried to smash something that was probably the size of like our bar figure. So one of the bigger
Actually,
guys.
it was this figure.
And
Dingo there.
He used like this big massive book, and it took him at least 3 tries for it to finally knock down and lose more than 1 piece of it.
Yeah, if anybody.
So, and that was like the destruction piece. Or,
yeah,
you know,
that was the set that was meant to break.
and it was still hard to break.
Well, that's
that was probably the worst thing,
then, right? For them to have a good product like that.
Yeah.
That was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to us. So we get the paperwork in the email, and I'm reading through. I'm like, wait, they're going to destroy all these things with it. This man wants to break all my toys.
Like, we had to like print them. I had to paint them up fully like they were like the normal figures. So I had to paint them pristine, but we kind of made a couple of changes. Like one of the female characters, I drew a mustache on. Think of like the, you know, the stunt doubles. But,
Sweet.
you know, just seeing them destroyed was kind of heartbreaking, but.
Hey, that's what they bought them.
Yeah.
So what profit margin do you guys target when you build these things?
As far as an actual profit margin, we try to keep it to where costs are all covered. I try to make sure in our costs we build in wear and tear for the printers, screen use and stuff like that. It's stuff that a lot of people don't account for. These things are not, you know, FEP isn't free. You know, I have to replace FEP at least monthly on every machine, you know. Stuff like that, electricity usage isn't free. We try to keep everything, what is it? I want to say 30% above costs.
Yeah.
I think is the actual number. If it gets below that, we get a little iffy.
Scared? Yeah, I would be too.
A little iffy.
Yeah.
You know,
because
but
then, you know, you always have to try to imagine, you know, with the cost of gas and everything else going up and everything, you know, people aren't wanting to buy as much. So you also have to try to take into that. So, you know, it gets rough sometimes, but you know, you just as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, you'll get through anything. I mean,
so have you guys tried to other options to increase sales, like maybe free shipping, Etsy ads, Facebook ads, stuff like that?
Yeah, we run free shipping on all orders over a certain number. We just kind of, that's one of those things I think more sellers should do, is just figure that into your pricing. Like, you know, I know guys that are charging like for the box and stuff, and you're starting to get into pennies, and that's where I just roll that into the price of, I calculate that into the price of the item in the first place. Like, it's going to cost me this much to put it in the mail on top of what it costs me to produce it. You know what I mean? So why am I trying to figure, you know, do that a different way? So,
but we do giveaways also.
We do that.
Try to, you know, get people to come in like, hey, do you know somebody that would like this who doesn't already follow us? You know, and then we try to get, you know, people come in that way. And
we did launch our own website.
We did.
We're starting to try and push some traffic over
Right.
there.
So that was my next question. Do you guys just have Etsy in your own, or you have your own website too? So you have both?
Yep.
We do. My best friend works for GoDaddy, so us not having our own website would have just been silly. He called me up about like 5 seconds after we started the business. He's like, you need a website, right? It's like, you need me to set you up a website, right? You need a website, right, buddy? So it took us about a year to actually get it all online and worked out, but it's up there. We've started to.
And which web provider are you using?
It's GoDaddy. We're up on GoDaddy.
No. That's the domain. What's the everything's on GoDaddy? You're using
runs
GoDaddy's
through
web builder?
No, it's WordPress.
You're using WordPress. Okay, all right.
It's a WordPress site, yeah.
And how are you guys driving traffic to your website?
Same way, through social media. stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, mainly social media. I mean, I do print out business cards, and wherever I am, I'll tack up a business card. We were just in some place a while ago redoing something, and I looked up and there was my business card. I mean, it was an older one, but it was still there. And I'm like, that's cool.
It really is a lot of word of mouth, a lot
But
of everybody
just-
you talk to. Hey, what do you do? I make custom toys, or, I 3D print stuff. And everybody you talk to, all my entire family is probably sick and tired of seeing pictures of our prints or me and a panda head back here. They're probably tired of it all, but that's the only way I think to get out there anymore, as far as other than like you said, boots on the ground at conventions and stuff like that. And,
just meet people especially at conventions. It's one of your top places where you can network and just get your name out there and meet people. Just, walk around and just talk to everybody.
So what's next for you guys? That was it for me. That was an incredible story. So what's next for you guys? What's the future of 3D Panda?
More action figures, more
continuing doing what we're
nutty.
doing. We kind of branching out because, as much as I like doing figures, sometimes I do get just the repetitiveness of doing the same figure over and over gets, annoying. So I start thinking of, okay, well, what else can we do to, spruce up what we're already doing? So I started with doing I'm going to start doing a line of taking some of the accessories for these guys and creating earrings, which I already started doing with some of the Jawa Ion blaster and Boba Fett's blaster. I made them
Genius.
Thank you. We also do just different accessories. Like we have kyber crystal necklaces. I'm going to make lightsaber earrings. I got all kinds of things rattling around up there.
Beautiful. Fantastic idea there, Christina. So I was trying to figure out who the brains of this entire operation was, and you just answered my question.
I got
answered the entire. Yes.
I very often tell people I'm the monkey who runs the printers. That's me. I press buttons, and
but
that's
you
all I
wouldn't
need to
need
do.
me if he didn't give me the canvas to paint. So.
I love that. You guys are a great team.
No, thank you.
We try.
So let's wrap this up with your guys' #1 tip for anyone who wants to start their own 3D printing business.
Don't stop. There are gonna be days where you're gonna be sitting there wanting to smash your keyboard across your knee, throw everything out the window. For us, there's a big body of water in the backyard. I don't know how many times I've almost launched printers out there. Just take 5, get back at it. You know what I mean? It'll all just keep pushing through. If it's what you want to do and it's what you're good at, you'll be able to get through it. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. Especially, we started up right in the middle of the pandemic. We just kind of woke up one day and said, hey, let's do this. We're going to just do this. And we've had to fight through it every step of the way.
It's all worth it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for you to be able to stay home, take care of your mom, and still make a full-time income. It's a beautiful thing, you guys. The freedom. It's not about the money.
No, not
no.
It never was. It was about the freedom.
No, we have a blast doing what we do. We work for a lot of really cool people. We've been able to do some really cool projects that, we never would have. 2 people in a little island in North Carolina, we shouldn't be doing some of this stuff.
And again, it doesn't matter if your age either. I mean, I'm 47. He just turned 45. So we're in our 40s doing this.
He looks 45. You don't look like your age.
No,
so I'm going to just throw that out there. If we're going to.
It's nice to know I finally look my age. It's finally happened.
I've been waiting 3 years for him to look older than me. So, but you just got to keep trying and just don't give up. I'm one of the most positive people. It really takes a lot to bring me down. And even when we're struggling, I'm like, we'll do it. We'll get through it.
You guys look great. You guys are, I can feel the teamwork from you guys. Just the way you guys speak and the way you carry yourself. I can feel it. And I'm so proud of you guys. You guys have a great story here. You guys have a great product. It's so unique. It's so different. Because everyone's like, oh, I make action figures, those little print and place ones. No, not you guys. You're like, oh, I'm putting magnets in this. I'm doing all this other stuff. So, man, super cool, you guys. Thank you for being on the show. So, I told everybody that if you stay till the very, very end, I'll give you your own product idea for your own 3D printing side business. And today's product idea is fish tank accessories. Yep, fucking named it. Look, you guys. Fish tank accessories, there's a cave or there's a treasure chest. Make it cool. What can you put in there in the fish tanks that you won't find in the stores? Look, you guys, these FDM machines, they're plant-based plastic. They're supposed to be watertight, so you're not going to get water in there. If it did, you printed wrong, right? So what can you make that's super cool that you would like to see in your own fish tanks? And with that, you'd have your own blue ocean, your own corner market, put up your store. There you go. So if you guys need help building that business from start to finish and growing, let me know. Join the coaching program. I help you guys with all that. Again, you guys, fantastic story. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Now we're going to go to bonus content where these guys are going to tell me a story about someone famous that they did an action figure for. So bonus content time. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So you guys need to tell me about this famous person that you guys did a figure for. First, let's start off with what figure was it?
Well, we did a few actually. We've done a bunch. We did Orca originally.
Yes.
Orca from Star Wars Resistance.
Okay.
Guy. So basically, what happened was we were selling our figures.
This part's not going to be in the podcast. If you guys want to show me some stuff, show me some stuff.
We got to work it here. Oh, his leg wanted to stay over there. Come here.
Don't break your toys, man.
Oh, they just come apart. They don't break. That's the fun part.
Break.
So you got to work it here, little guy. That little dude.
All right. So you made him.
Well, what happened was we were selling our tiny figures and stuff on Etsy, and we got an order for a bunch, and I'm printing out the shipping label, and at the same time, I want to say SNL or something was on the TV, and as I'm looking at the label, I'm like, wait, that's Bobby Moynihan. No, that's not Bobby Moynihan. Bobby Moynihan. So we said, hey, we sent him a message, and we were just like, hey, it's kind of cool. You have the same name as the guy who plays Orca on Star Wars. And he responded with, yeah, that's because I'm Orca, basically.
No shit, dude.
Basically, I love your figures. I want to get a custom done.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can do this. Love, and then big bold letters with a bunch of exclamation points. It said Orca.
Right.
He signed it by Orca.
Dude,
So,
did he send you like dude, hey, y'all gotta have like a return package sent and be like, can you just fucking sign one of my figures? Make like 100 scale one, like something this big.
Oh, we have we're actually working on a 2-foot Orca. We've been working on it.
Yo, and send it to him and have him fucking sign it.
Oh, he's absolutely getting that. He has been wonderful. He when we first started working and doing our shop, yeah, there's giant Orca's head right there.
Holy shit.
Like next to Norm's head.
Yeah,
that's a big boy.
he's pretty
That's
light.
a big boy. That's
So,
FDM?
Huh?
That's FDM, right?
That's FDM, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we hit a certain point where the resins aren't going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But with that one, with Orca, what happened was he was just like, Hasbro never did it. They did do a line of Resistance figures, but Orca and his little life mate Flix, this fellow here, stop falling down, Bobby. This fellow here, Orca and his life mate Flix, they were never really going to get figures from Hasbro.
Okay.
So I said, hey, is there any chance you can do that? And we said, well, sure. And we contacted Jorge, and we got together with him, and we put together the Orca figure and sent it along to Bobby. Then we did.
Do you guys charge for design?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jorge charges us. You know what I mean? There's a pass-through. He basically, we always refer to him as our in-house modeler, like the third employee that isn't really an employee. If anybody's ever asking us to do a model, it's always him we're going through. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the guy we call if we need something done.
That's really cool, man. That's a dope story.
So it kind of trickled from there, and he just kept wanting, different customs
Right,
and everything that we came out with, he wanted. And then all of a sudden, one day, it was like June of last year, he sent me a message and basically saying, hey, I have an idea for a show. Would you take a look at it and see if you can do the figures? So he sent us an image of like 6 or 7 figures on it. And we looked at it, talked to Jorge and everything, or George, and that's how Lightning Wolves came out. Yeah. And now it's on Comedy Central Animated, and it's a whole
That's
show.
Awesome. You guys.
There are figures in there, and it's so cool seeing the kids playing with them.
So they're using y'all as figures for the show.
Right. Yeah, we kind of joked that it was a week like Kenner-like the way we did it. We were sent about 3 images and given the instruction of, I like what you guys do, so do that.
Do them in your style.
Yeah, just do them in your style. Just do things the way you do them. I like them that way. So as we're sending updates along, like, here's what this figure looks like, here's what that figure looks like, it's all just, yeah, it looks great. Just get them done and send them along.
That's so dope, dude.
We're just, we hadn't even seen the backs of these characters. We're like, oh man, I hope the back of this looks right.
Yeah, we guessed on the back of all of them. like even the large one.
So are you guys on the credits for this?
If there was a credits roll, we would
Yeah,
be.
there
I
is
think,
no
yeah.
actual credits
Not that I
roll.
saw on the YouTube list.
Like at the last episode with the book that they're smashing the figures with, our sticker that has the 3D panda on it is all over the book
It's
on
all
the
over the book,
inside. So,
That's cool.
you know, and of course I commented in the, you know, comments on each of the episodes, you know, that's our figures and if you're looking for them. And
That's amazing, man. I wish my stuff would get on the shows. That's cool, man.
Again, it's one of those things where we just couldn't, you know, he reached out and we're like, no, he doesn't want us to do something like this. We're just a couple of nerds out here in North Carolina making toys.
Hey, man, don't
we
do
go
that to yourselves.
completely fangirl, fanboy out on them. But in the beginning we did a little bit, but he was okay. We
Super
weren't
nice
like-
guy. Absolutely wonderful guy. Seriously, I don't have a bad word to say about the man. He's been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.